happy Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve 2017, and just making another video that is they're not being watched, but that's okay. Like I keep saying over and over, maybe they're not being watched because I'm not that interesting. But it's funny, or it's just hard. It doesn't matter, but it's hard because I actually told someone about the fact that I was making videos. And all of a sudden, my first video had 5 views. And then all the rest of the videos that had no views had 1 view until like the 3rd one, and then they just stopped. And so the only thing I can think is that, well, I mean, I can think, oh, she stopped watching it because she thinks I'm stupid or whatever. Or I can think that it's Christmas and she actually had a pretty traumatic event just happened to her, so I cannot be like so self-absorbed about it. But I thought, wow, even like, I think it's kind of the way that it goes though, because even like the person closest to me right now, who is my son, is just not that interested. And it's interesting because, which is funny, he's just so that interesting to me, because when I was like, before I always say sought the truth from God, I my family is Christian, and I was always having a hard time. Like, I just my life was a mess for the always a mess. And they'd be like, well, you know what I think you need? God. And I'd always be like, I don't want to talk about God right now. Like, I don't want to talk about God. Like, I need real solutions. And even, my aunt, I have an aunt she's more like a sister, but that doesn't matter, told me stories of like supernatural things that happened to her, and it just didn't register it. Like, I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So all the people in my life who are like, yeah, okay, whatever, I have to understand that. But it was hard for me for a really long time because everything that was happening to me and has happened to me is so intense, I guess. But my mother is sending me text messages. But like, so intense that I just assumed for so long that people would want to talk about it and want to know. I don't know. Like, my mom is sending me texts and my phone does this thing. Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry. But it was so intense, and it's been so consuming of everything. Like, it has taken up all of my mental space almost, pretty much. And I've changed a lot, and that's like the thing. But nobody's watching these that has asked me about it or anything or wants to talk about it, so I'm not really going to talk about the thing, because like I said in the last video, I don't actually feel like I need anyone to talk to about the thing. That's been happening to me, which is a process. And I sought the truth, and the truth apparently has to do with this process. But you have to want to know about it. And I am just not one of those people who thinks I'm supposed to go out and tell people things about God. In the beginning of all this, I totally did that, I did, because it was so intense. And like I said, maybe in the 2nd or 3rd video, the supernatural exploded in my life. I experienced so much supernatural stuff, and I responded to that in a very crazy way, for the most part. And because I was naive, and I've changed, like, what happened to me because of the way I responded to it, what was happening, all of the like, I was humiliated, and even more so than that, like other things, it was just, I assumed that people would understand, and they didn't. And then, so, anyway, you're locked in, I was too, though, like, you're locked into the material world. Like, this is the age of materialism. I mean, it's also like the information age, right? But we're very materialistic, and when I say that, I don't mean I'm not actually saying, like, I'm saying that what we dwell only in the material world. Most people, well, at least here that I know in the United States, and I've lived in a lot of places actually. I've lived in a lot of different places all over the country, and we live in the material world, and that's what we know, and we hear about other stuff that's possible, and anyway, this is getting too long, but there's a whole other thing, like I've said, like that you can have experience with, and I, for some reason, have had and still have a very intense supernatural experience. Like, I experience things that most people think aren't possible, and I do, and I'm really okay with people not believing me, and I wasn't, and I think that's part of the process. Like I said, it's been 4 years, and I'm just finally, like, really okay, I think, for the most part. I mean, obviously not, there's, whatever, I'll be honest, there's a tiny part of me, but way better than I was in the beginning, and for years, I was so, anyway, I'm okay with not being able to talk about it with anyone. I found this book, and it's called The Secret History of the World, actually, at the best bookstore. Salt Lake City has my favorite bookstore I've ever been in, and I've been in a lot of bookstores. It's called Weller's Books, and that book anyway, that's a whole other thing. If anybody watches this and, like, wants to talk, that'd be cool to talk about, but I'm okay in that regard. There are other ways that I'm not okay, but, like everyone, So, yeah, anyway, Merry Christmas, and I hope that, I don't know, man, I hope there's love for everyone. Bye.